Welcome to the training program Social Entrepreneurship Through Passion, submodal peer support, developed within a project of the same name, shortly referred as to Passionpreneurs. The project, shortly called Passionpreneurs, aims in general to tackle unemployment and social exclusion of vulnerable groups by helping them to identify their interests, talents and passions and empower them to create social enterprises or find employment opportunities in this sector. Therefore, the training program is meant to cover existing gaps as it is a comprehensive toolbox that will help the participants to improve their self-awareness, learn how to employ their interests, talents and passions in practice, and enhance their entrepreneurial skills. Social enterprises aim to overcome social challenges and make profit out of it. It can be financed by profit or by grants. The Passionpreneurs program is based, among other things, on empowerment and peer coaching or mentoring methodologies that support the entrepreneurial and self-management skills. This approach encompasses the whole process, from raising awareness of the personal situation to identifying the need for change, getting users to obtain the tool for themselves, while also being aware of the need to help others to undergo the same process, thus giving rise to innovative ideas and projects of social entrepreneurship. Now, what does peer support provide? Sharing experiences with other peers that face similar problems. Practical information and advice about experiences which a professional counselor might not have. Motivation and more inspiration and support to follow the idea. Someone who takes the time to listen and to understand. A sense that what they may be feeling or going through is normal or even expected. Insights into what may lie ahead. Information about services, support, resources, funding and more in the community. Possible challenges and barriers might be addressed at an earlier stage. What are the advantages of peer support? First, there might be more trust in someone who shares similar experiences. Second, you might feel more supported. Third, peers might have more insight in the personal situation or competences. Fourth, peers might be better informed about environmental structures. What competences should a peer coach have? Strong communication skills, strong listening skills, empathy, should be good at building relationships, questioning skills, emotional intelligence. He or she must be good at understanding and relating to people and should be interested in the other person. Helping to reflect and clarify. A peer supporter should not provide the answer, but make sure that they fully understood the issue and help to further develop solutions. Tact and diplomacy. Patience to give space and time for people to think over solutions. A peer coach should not get overexcited or angry about withdrawals. Instead, he or she focuses on working through withdrawals and coming back to a constructive solution finding. To convey information and own experiences in a clear and understandable manner. Here are 9 tips for effective communication. First, simplify and stay on the message. Use simple, straightforward language. Second, engage your listener or readers. Ask questions and invite opinions. Third, take time to respond. Take time to reflect what you want to reply. Fourth, make sure you're understood. Do not blame the other person for not understanding. Instead, look for ways to clarify or to rephrase. Fifth, develop your listening skills. Listen without judgment and do not be distracted by thinking about what you want to say next. Sixth, body language is important. Watch visual signs and if they agree or disagree with the message. Be aware that you are sending signals too. 7. Maintain eye contact. Eye contact builds credibility and demonstrates you care about the listener. 8. Respect your audience. Care about the needs and unique perspectives of those with whom you are communicating to show your respect by paying attention to what they say. 9. Make communication a priority. Try to learn and find out more about effective communication. Important for this program is active listening. What active listening rules should be complied with? Seek to understand before you seek to be understood and before responding. Be non-judgmental. Give your undivided attention to the speaker. Use silence effectively. In the following slides, we want to present you some tools which were developed for the Passionpreneurs training, which proved very helpful for professionals as well as peer support in order to visualize important key stages of a personal project development. We will also shortly explain their benefit and how to use them. Skills and competences. Skill cards are an effective tool to support a person in finding out more about their own talents and priorities. They can be presented to the participant in different ways, depending on the purpose, by asking him to choose the skills which he or she thinks are relevant for him or her. Skills which are relevant for realizing this project, or skills he/she thinks are missing for a project. This serves to identify support which has to be found from others. Skills cards help to visualize these statements, and in this way, the most important thing as peer coach is to ask supportive questions so that the person themselves can get a more defined vision of their own decisions. Possible passion project. This template is a tool which shall help the participant to get a clearer vision of what he or she wants to focus on. It especially helps if somebody has a lot of ideas and does not know which one to follow. Therefore, it provides space for a prior brainstorming process on important points. Afterwards, additional relevant information can be added. Taking into account all these options, the participant can eliminate specific ideas and continue exploring the remaining ones. Peer support in this phase is very important to consider all relevant consequences related to specific ideas. Thus, the most important technique to be used might be to ask clarifying questions, for example, on resources, competences, networks, or others. If somebody already has a clear idea or goal, you as a peer coach can ask them to fill out the following 2 templates. The first one is on goal setting. In this step, a peer coach might be very supportive to request the smartness of your goals. This means to check if they are really specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So the main part of a peer supporter will be to ask questions on the content of this file to assure that the content fits together with the participants' goals. The second template is a Swot Analysis. Also in this step, peer support might be very helpful for a short check to clarify strengths, weaknesses, opportunities and threats of an idea. As peers might have more insight in personal resources and the environment of the participant, they might know more about how realistic the information provided by the participant is. Having a peer supporter nearby might also encourage the participant to deliver more realistic information, as they have the same knowledge as the peer supporter, and due to a constellation of trust, he or she might not fear to blame themselves by showing uncertainness or doubts. Steps to create change. This template helps to rethink a project idea together with the participant, considering all the important points. The peer coach can take the part of a tour guide on this Passionpreneurs journey. You're starting with the problem the participant wants to solve. You're developing the solution to the problem, which at the same time should be a value proposition of a possible client. Then, doing a recheck of similar projects to have in mind concurrents or supporters. Identification of potential customers helps you to get an insight on the market for the product. Possible marketing channels can help you to take into consideration on how the product might be promoted. And then finally, we start to develop a list of key steps which might lead to the next template and to a concrete action plan. Action plan. This template serves mostly to further formulate the steps from the template before, to add dates and define responsible persons to carry out concrete tasks. Networking. A very important point for peer support is networking. As peer coach, you already went through the same process and you might have contacts which the participant might need, as she is on the starting point of his journey. Here are the most important tips for successful networking. The final template helps the participant if he or she needs to present themselves and their idea. As peer coach, you can assist in making these messages informative and on point. What are the ways to provide support? There is one-to-one support, the buddy system, or otherwise pairing participants. There can be mutual support through social gatherings or events for peer supporters to talk about. I hope you liked our webinar from the Passionpreneurs project about the peer support, and if you want to learn more about it, join us on our Facebook page.